All right, welcome back. So this is part 8 of the Lance truck camper rebuild, repair, remodel. Let's get started. It's been a couple weeks. I had some other stuff going on with the truck. So let's get back on this project. So part 7 I left off finishing up this bottom, I don't want to call it a floor, but the top of the dinette seating area, the bottom of the compartment for the propane and battery. So that's all done. I did screw it in place. For now, I put on the wing with a couple screws, and then I'm getting this compartment panel finished right now, or test fit. Once everything is test fit correct, I'm going to go through. I already took a Sharpie and I traced basically against this wall up on that bottom of that wall there, the tray. I'm going to, well, first I'm going to prime and paint both sides and ends of this whole piece and everything else that you see. And then I'm going to take that real thin plastic, and I'm going to line this with that white plastic and eventually line the whole outside where you see it's black. That way it'll be a waterproof barrier, and then every corner will be sealed and angle trim. So I think doing all that is going to go above and beyond what it ever was from factory. And same technique for everything here. I'm going to trace out with the wing, everything that's exposed, that's not inside the compartment, will be lined. Get the insulation in these rectangles. This will be skinned. I'm probably going to skin that with the plastic too. And we'll go from there. So let's get started on part 8. All right, no big deal, but that panel's on. And then just like the other side, I added a 1x2 to give the wing something to actually screw into. Remember, the factory basically just screwed into the side of plywood, which is not what you do. So that's better. Again, see my line, I traced the inside. So this whole underbelly here is going to be lined after it's primed and painted with the plastic liner here. One other thing I want to take care of real quick is I already kind of eyeballed this a little while ago. This is the bottom edge trim, and this has the holes, location of the holes for the tie downs. And this is a 45 degrees, so I know that that met the other trim right in the corner. You hold it up, and then here's my line, and yep, here's the hole. So that's lined up on the front hole, and then back here, this back hole is lined up. So I can go ahead and get those tie down brackets done real quick too. That way I'll have this all notched out, drilled, and then I'll prime and paint all that stuff. If I painted it first, then I'd have to go back and touch it up. All right, so yeah, the brackets fit actually perfect on the actual frame. The only thing I have to take into account is the added thickness of that plastic liner, which is basically about 1/16 of an inch. So I will pop these off real quick. I already marked the edges on both brackets. I'm basically going to notch out that 1/16 of an inch so this can sit down, and then it'll go up and over that liner. And then when the trim's on, the trim and butyl tape will overlap all of that stuff. Just like that. Perfect little piece. These holes drilled and move on. All right, got those in. Yes, I had to tap that. I'll touch that up. And then there'll be 2 little screws that hold that down. Same on this side. While I'm at it, the propane compartment bottom here, I think I mentioned that in the last part or two. Just gotta notch that, and then that'll be good. All right, so I pulled out everything and got basically 2 coats of Kills all-purpose interior exterior sealer primer on the wings, the main section there, the back wall, and then all the framing front and side. Again, it might be overkill, but while it's exposed, might as well, right? So let all this stuff set up, flip this stuff over tomorrow, get that stuff coated, and then move on. All right, like I said, I used the Kills sealer / primer, and then I just got some Glidden premium exterior paint, just white. So all of this stuff has 2 coats of paint on it now. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut some of that plastic liner to line this side, which is the bottom. So not only is it primed, sealed, painted, it'll have plastic liner on it. And then like I said before, the liner will be 100% sealed in all the corners with all of the butyl tape and corner molding. So let's get that part going. Probably hard to see, but I got the plastic vinyl stuff from the edge to basically 13 inches from the side, because this will be the top of the storage compartment. I don't need it on that. I left the gap where the shelf sits right here, because if I add any more thickness, it won't fit. And then this is the back panel of the storage right here. So I'm gonna flip these both upside down and let them cure for a day. I'm not gonna try to hang them yet. And while this one's flipped over, I'm going to paint the inside of this area real quick, so that way all this stuff will be dry, cured for tomorrow, and then I can start putting everything together. All right, so that looks better, right? All right, this thing is back up and bolted in place, or screwed in place. Everything's nice, how it should be. Back part of the cabinet. Now you can see that's all lined. So it's up to the joint. So when I'm in the finishing process of putting all the trim pieces on with the butyl tape, all the corners will be sealed. So should work out really well. When I was test fitting some stuff, I think my wing might be off just a tad. So I'm going to put that bottom trim piece on real quick. That'll stay up with those tie downs. And then kind of see how the wing fits up against the trim piece. Because I took a piece of the aluminum here, and I want to say my wood wing stuck out just a little bit. So I'll make sure all that's legit. All right, so I got this right on the edge, located, and you'll see, there we go right there. I am definitely oversized, which makes sense with the aluminum up. So just got to trim off that little bit there. Before I do so though, I'm going to hold up this next layer of the aluminum right here, because I know that will line up with a lot of stuff right here along with this edge, and be able to verify 100%. See, I was all excited. I bought myself a couple actual wood clamps. I see I need more than 2. So anyway, this strip right here locates a lot of spots, so I know exactly where this goes. It rides the bottom edge and then intersects to here. The sealant was still on it, so I lined everything up right to the edge. And yep, I got an overhang to cut off. So I'm gonna get a couple more clamps so I can mark this stuff really well, and then trim that off, and then see how that goes right to that corner. So if you refer back to the couple beginning videos, I didn't have much to work off with these wings. So I'd rather be a little bit wider than potentially being not wide enough. So no big deal. It sure is cool to finally see this side kind of going back to shape. So one of the things I've learned was this like installation slash cardboard stuff that goes between the wood and the siding. I guess I was thinking that was going to be something off the shelf. Well, I can't find anything like that. I mean, it's not really that special. It's just a barrier that's really lightweight. So I know from this point forward, I will not be cutting that stuff off and throwing it out. I do know that the stuff that was in here though was pretty bad. I couldn't reuse that. But I think this one section here where I've been working, I'm just going to use that plastic liner, and I will skin the walls with that. That'll be the barrier between the siding and the wall. In my mind, it should be better. It might be just a few ounces heavier, but that's the plan. So I'm gonna keep all that stuff going forward. I mean, I'm getting to the point here. I mean, I'm not going to put any siding on until the very last, because the siding basically has to start from the top and go down. Yesterday I had some time while this stuff was kind of drying. I took this long piece of metal trim off the front cap, took this window out here, because I mean, this strip of aluminum has to come out, and this one for sure. This depends on what I find on the front cap here, but I'd like to get this more finished first before I keep moving on, because it's going to take up a lot of space. All right, so next thing here, I'm going to knock out this inside wall panel. Works out good. It's actually less than 4 feet, so I'll be able to do a one-piece panel, and then when I lay it up, I'll trace from the outside the window opening, so I can cut that out nice. This board right here on the edge, it was split from the factory, so there's really hardly anything to nail to attach the wall to. So I'm going to double up that vertical stud to give more to bite onto real quick. So So let me get that stud going, cut this panel out, and then I'll probably do this panel next, and then that'll really make the inside look kind of finished. All right, nothing too big here, but got that piece in like always, liquid nailed. Got 3 screws, and then I got staples on the outside, so definitely gives me a lot more meat to get that panel up on. One little quick thing I saw, there was a gap here, so I put a filler board in right there. Same thing on this side, filler board, and then I did the notch for the wires on that one, and then on the other one here I did. So now we're good for the panel. And we have a wall. Awesome. Cut that out pretty perfect. Worked out really well. It's amazing just taking that little piece out. I mean, not that the panel weighs much, but just taking that out made this like super light. So look at that, my first wall. Well, I don't see any reason why that can't get some liquid nail and stapled up, and then I'll get this one done. All right, so that panel dried overnight. Looks good. Just cut this one to size, and then I just got to trace out this radius. So I'll cut that, and then that can get liquid nailed and stapled up. I mean, it actually looks like a looks like a camper a little bit. I like it. All right, just like that, it's done. Just gotta take the sander, just kind of double smooth it, but pretty good for just jigsawing it. So a little sandy sand and good to go. And then all this stuff will get primed. All this is gonna be white. All the walls and ceilings will be white. And then, I don't know, some type of maybe gray for the cabinets. I don't know. I might not even do any of the interior painting until next season. I really just want to get this thing up and going and functioning, and then I can worry about all the final painting stuff down the road. We'll see. All right, so this is going to wrap up part 8 of this video. Again, I'm trying to keep things kind of 15 to 19 minutes roughly. This video, or this part, I've accomplished a ton. It felt like forever I was dealing with this tray area, you know, building it, priming it, painting it, skinning it, modifying it, adding to it, test fit. But I'm happy, it turned out great. Everything just lined up and keyed right back in how it was from factory, but better. Getting the inside walls, panels in, this one, and then the other one, really makes it feel like this back corner is getting somewhere. The skirt and the compartment area is pretty much done. I'm not going to trim this skirt until towards the end when I start putting the siding back on. Because the siding's going to key in the way it's supposed to, you know, from top down, and then once I have this part going in, I'll see exactly where I'm at. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So what should I do next? I kind of feel like I should get the back part done next, because this ended up being a really big area. So as far as the back, what's involved, the bottom side of the floor needs to be paneled, sealed. The gray holding tank needs to go back in. There was the one fitting of the PVC pipe that I did cut. I'll have to get a, what do you call it? A coupler, glue that back together. Test fit the rear bumper, make sure that goes back on how it's supposed to go. I probably should tie all that back up next before jumping into the front cap / roof area. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so stay tuned. Part 9 obviously will be next, and then we'll see which direction I end up going in. But just super happy with how this thing's turning out.